Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The United States is at the forefront of clean energy development and clean energy deployment globally. Not only are we developing countless private renewable energy projects across the country, we have hundreds more wind, solar, and geothermal projects on federal lands, with many more on the way. If we are to remain a global leader in renewable energy deployment, then we should ensure that any new oil and gas drilling does not impede the rapid deployment of renewable energy projects that are so critical to our energy independence and security. And before we consider approving even more land for outdated and highly polluting forms of energy, we must continue on our march into the future and invest in renewable energy projects, not just on federal lands, but in every community that stands to benefit from these projects. My amendment would require the Secretary not only to certify that increased oil and gas drilling on federal lands will not negatively impact renewable energy project development, but also prohibit the inclusion of any recommendations to expand such drilling in this plan if it would do so. Yes, we must make gas affordable at the pump, but the President of the United States has already helped lower prices for the American people by drawing down the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And in fact, the underlying legislation would create additional barriers to keeping gas prices low. The answer is not more drilling. The answer is to invest in renewable energy and to make these new technologies affordable for everyday Americans. And if we want to keep the United States from falling second to China in the deployment of renewable energy projects, then we should be taking every reasonable step to continue their deployment. My amendment would do just that by ensuring that the plan required in the underlying bill mitigates any impacts to renewable energy projects on federal lands. I urge my colleagues to vote yes.
Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday to all of you. They are now considering a new bill that would finally address Social Security for millions of Americans. Democrats currently have at least 3 proposed plans that would help many low-income seniors and retirees. This is very important as the United States faces a recession. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of this information. Also, to say thank you for being here every day and for being part of this community, I will be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards this Friday and every Friday. If you'd like to enter the giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, my friends, of winning the giveaways. There are currently 3 proposed bills being floated by Democrats on Capitol Hill that seeks to strengthen Social Security and Medicare. Action is needed because, as the Social Security Board of Trustees reported in its 2022 annual report last June, the combined asset reserves of the old age and survivors insurance trust funds are projected to become depleted in the year 2035, with only 80% of benefits payable at that time. Meanwhile, Republicans have expressed their unanimous opposition to each of these plans, arguing broadly that raising taxes to increase benefits when the program is going broke is not a sustainable way forward. When poll after poll shows a strong majority of Americans, Republicans and Democrats alike, do not want to see cuts in Social Security. Plenty of uncertainty remains as to how the program's solvency will eventually be addressed after many years of kicking the can down the road by lawmakers. The 3 different bills that are currently under consideration, which is the Social Security Expansion Act, Social Security 2100, and the Protecting and Preserving Social Security Act, all have similar goals of extending Social Security solvency, but would go about it in different ways and have varying priorities. The Protecting and Preserving Social Security Act was introduced by Senator Mazie Hirono and Representative Ted Deutsch. According to the Social Security Administration's Office of the Chief Actuary. The legislation, if enacted, would extend the date of projected depletion of the OASI and DI trust fund reserves from the year 2035 to the year 2052. The bill would also reduce the federal deficit by about $12.3 trillion by the end of the 75-year projection period. The bill would also require the wealthiest Americans to pay their fair share by phasing out the cap on Social Security contributions over the next 7 years and encouraging contributions above the cap in exchange for additional benefits. Most Americans pay 6.2% of their wages into Social Security, but the effective tax rate for the wealthy is significantly lower because of the current cap on Social Security's contributions, which was $147,000 in 2022. So this bill would require the wealthiest Americans to eventually pay more by phasing out the cap. The bill has a backing of a coalition, including the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, the Alliance for Retired Americans, and Social Security Works. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. These days, the U.S. unemployment system is somewhat of an anomaly. Almost 3 years after the crisis caused the worst jobless rates in the U.S. since the Great Depression, unemployment has recovered to near historic lows. Applications for unemployment insurance have been at or below their pre-crisis trend for the better part of a year. Yet Americans who need jobless benefits are not getting them quickly. According to the United States Department of Labor data, the federal government considers a first payment timely if states issue funds within 21 days of an initial claim for benefits. In March 2020, 97% of payments were timely, but today, the share is 78% on average. To be sure, delays are not as bad as they used to be, but the delays are still significant. They can have real-world effects: postponed payment for rent, accrued credit card debt, rated retirement savings, loans from family and friends for living costs, and a reliance on community food pantries to subsist before payments arrives. Unemployment experts chalk up the discrepancy, longer delays despite fewer claims to process, to vestiges of the crisis in state agencies that were already running on financial fumes heading into the crisis. So the number of Americans filing new claims for unemployment benefits unexpectedly fell last week, pointing to another month of solid job growth and continued labor market tightness, despite efforts by the Federal Reserve to cool demand for workers. Continued recession fears and a cascade of tech industry layoffs have drawn renewed attention to severance packages, the compensation offered to some departing employees. Severance packages, which range widely in size and duration, offer newly unemployed workers a financial buffer as they face an uncertain job market. As layoffs and speculation about the onset and depth of the next recession continue, the worst thing Congress can do is take no action. That is why many lawmakers are encouraging that Congress pass new legislation as quickly as possible to address our economy. Well, my dearest and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday morning. My friends, thank you so very much for joining me here every day and for being part of this community. I will be announcing 2 winners this Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Please enter the giveaway simply by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.